Good day everybody, I'm Jeremy with Survival Showcase, and today we're taking a look at a Winchester Model 70 Heavy Varmint in 308. When this rifle appeared at our shop, I went online and did a quick search. After not finding a lot out about it, I decided I would contact the archives department at Winchester. Using the serial number, they were able to date this rifle to 1994. That absolutely blew me away, as this rifle is in very good plus condition. Today, this rifle is worth about $1,195 in used very good plus condition. A rifle in this configuration would be perfect for somebody who wants to varmint hunt larger animals or somebody that wants to bench rest shoot. It's got the nice wide forend for setting on a set of bags. Also, you can see that I've attached a bipod to it. I've got a decent scope on it. That's a Vortex 4-16 by 44. So some of the features of this rifle is we have a push feed instead of a controlled feed style bolt on here. The bolt itself on this rifle is a jeweled style bolt. The action on this rifle is a blued action. The barrel on this rifle is a stainless barrel. Most rifles like this one will feature what is called a target crown that is cut in at the very point where the bullet exits the muzzle. On this rifle, it's an 11-degree target crown. The crown is the last part of the rifle that can affect a bullet if it happens to be damaged. This is why most target crowns are recessed in order to protect the crown. So you'll notice that it's concaved, the muzzle of the barrel, and that's so that nothing can brush right up flat against that target crown and dent it. And that's right there where the bullet exits. That's your little target crown in there that's at 11 degrees. If your rifle's not shooting consistently, it may be worthwhile to have your target crown checked first. That is the one thing that's going to affect that bullet flying out of the end of the muzzle. If you've got everything else done, you've got the rifle on a set of sandbags or it's locked into a bench and it's just not producing good groups for you and you believe it should be, then you should get your target crown checked because it's most likely damaged. The barrel is a 1 inch, starts at 1 inch and then tapers down to 0.880. So it starts 1 inch here, and as we go along the length of the barrel, it tapers right down to 0.88. And it is the heavy varmint barrel, as you can see right there. This rifle features a 5-shot floor plate magazine. So you're going to load in through the top, and then to get those shells out, you're just going to click this little button and that's going to drop down that plate and the shells will slide out right there. This rifle features 2 provisions for slings, so this is the one at the butt end of the stock, and then when we go up to the front, I have a bipod mounted, and you would have to attach your other sling point right under the bipod. There's a provision on the bipod for it. The stock on this rifle is what's referred to as an HS precision stock. And it's wider at the front. So if you want, you can sandbag that rifle on a rest. And the back end of it is nice and sturdy for going up against your shoulder. And it does feature a rubber butt pad on the very back as well. On top of this rifle, I have mounted a Vortex 4-16 by 44 millimeter objective scope. Alright, so what we're going to try and do now is print you a really nice target down there, see what this rifle is capable of. I've already done the sight in, and I was pretty impressed with the sight in, so now I'll shoot a 5-shot group for you guys. And we'll see how this rifle feels. So before I said it was 168 grains, it's actually 155 grain boat tail hollow point 308 American Gunner, and that's a 50 pack. Nice bullet right there. So first thing we'll do is we'll close this floor plate up, load up our magazine with 5 rounds. Once your 5 rounds are in the magazine, close the bolt, get the gun on safe. I've already set up my scope, so I'm at 16 power, that's the max power. I've adjusted my focus back here as well as my parallax. Parallax is set to 100, then I adjusted the focus. I've already tuned and tweaked up the settings on the turrets, so we should be ready to go. One thing about this gun, operating this bolt, it's nice and smooth. So 308, it's not a lot of kick, it's not a real heavy caliber. There's a bit to it. You want to make sure you get it in the fatty section of your arm, because if you're sitting on a bone, as I found out earlier, it can smack you pretty good. Trigger breaks really crisp too. It's a nice clean braking trigger. One thing when you're trying to print a target group, you don't want to just ream back on the trigger. You want to just keep applying consistent pressure, and then it'll break for you. And that's how you're going to be able to keep that on target, on the exact center of the bullseye as much as possible. Five-shot string. Breathing's important too. You want to make sure you exhale, and then once you get down to the bottom there, usually pretty good. So there's our 5 rounds down range. Pretty impressed overall. This is very smooth operation. Closing, it locks up positive, slides back. It extracted the shells perfectly every single time. There was no hang-ups or anything. The magazine, pretty easy to get to that release. It's right under here. I don't know what everybody thinks about the blind floor plates, but they're pretty nice. Or sorry, not a blind floor plate, but a floor plate magazine. It works pretty well. I've been used to a clip a lot of the times, but this seems to work just fine for what I'm doing here. I don't need to unload my shells or take the clip out too often. If I go down range, then I just pop it open, make sure my shells are out, my bolt's open, and throw it off to the side. Overall, I'm really impressed. The barrel, I've shot, that's 15 rounds through it now. And it's not super duper hot. It's warm, but it's not crazy hot. Let's take a look down range and see how we shot. Okay, so today's shooting, over there on the far right, that was my sight-in shots. The top one that's outside of the circle, that was my first shot. And then I did a bore alignment. I just set the scope on that hole, moved it back to the center of the target. I took my second shot, that was the outside one. I cracked it again. Third shot had me just where you see that bullet near the bullseye. Then I went and I shot the 5-shot group that's over on the left side, just to make sure that it was going to repeat what I had seen from my sight-in, and I was really happy with that. And then I did that 5-shot sight-in, or 5-shot group there, center in the 5-shot string in the center, and I was really excited with that. That gun's capable of 1-inch MOA at 100 yards, no doubt. It's probably even capable of better because I was lying down prone shooting. So very impressed with today's shooting. That was an awesome rifle. Definitely one to keep in mind. From what I've heard, it's kind of a rare one too. So if you find one, it's definitely worth the buy.